All right, everybody, welcome to a Psych and Stuff Short. I'm Ryan Martin, and I am here as always with my co-host, Georgina Wilson Dundas. How's it going, G?
It is great. I can hear the jingle bells ringing. It's almost the season, and so I'm so excited for this short today.
Me too, and we are also here with Kelsey. How's it going, Kelsey?
Good, fantastic. And I agree. I am so in the holiday spirit, it's not even funny. Like I am ready for it to be Christmas tomorrow. That's how ready I am.
We are like full on into holiday Christmassy stuff at our house, putting up lights, going to see lights, all that sort of thing. And I watched a Hallmark Christmas movie over the weekend, which brings us to our guest, Dr. Jessica Van Slooten. She's the chair of the Women's and Gender Studies program here. She is in our English program, and she is also, she has a fabulous TEDx talk that you should all check out on romance literature. She writes for CAHSS and Effect about romance literature, all sorts of awesome stuff, but she also loves Hallmark Christmas movies. How's it going, Jessica?
It's going well. I have my seasonal snowman latte mug, so it's all good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So share with us, why do you love Hallmark Christmas movies the way you do?
Yeah, I think I love them because they're predictable, which is why a lot of people don't like them. But for me, it takes away some anxiety about how the movie's going to end because I already know how it's going to end and people are going to be happy. And the movie centers emotions and joy, even as it shows, people struggling with family and romance and work. So yeah, what people see as sort of a weakness, I see as a strength.
Well, I have heard you use a word to describe them, I think sort of captures it all, especially what a lot of people are looking for this time of year, especially in the Midwest, and that is cozy. Is that fair?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, when we think about the fantasy that they create, it's just like you're wrapped in coziness, right? Like the perfect decor, the cutest downtowns, right? A coffee and hot cocoa cart, which is inexplicably out in the middle of the, snow, but whatever. We have to suspend our disbelief. But yes, definitely all the cozy feelings, which I think we crave at this time of year because we don't often have them, right?
I think one of the things that we are going to talk about in our next week's launch of our podcast is that some of Ryan's favorite holiday movies center around like families that are not quite Hallmark level yet. But I think what I really like about Hallmark movies is that it shows that we are not perfect, even though we may be able to achieve something cozy and beautiful, that the characters always start out challenged, I think. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you look at the narrative genre elements of romantic films and stories, that there's always challenge, or otherwise, like if everyone's doing well, like what's the story, right? And so like one of the most important things about this genre is that there is some kind of barrier to the characters having like fulfillment, right? And sometimes that's external and sometimes it's internal. My favorite are when it's both, right? Like a geographical issue, but then like maybe some, I don't know, trauma is probably too strong of a word, but some kind of internal block, right? That is making things hard for people. And that's what I love, is seeing the journey they go on. And I think that's what gives me hope and possibility that, we live in flawed communities and families and have flawed lives, but we still can get happiness.
Well, it's always the best possible version of the Christmas season featured, right? There's always snow. This was actually one of the problems I had with the movie, because the movie I watched this weekend took place in my hometown, and there was always snow on like December 12th every year, and enough to make a snowman. And I was thinking, that's not possible, right? I know for a fact there's not always snow there, but it's the best possible version of this. There's always snow on the ground. People are always out doing great things. Like there's all all this wonderful stuff that we associate with the holidays is present there. So it gets to be a world that we all, I think, want to live in, but don't get to.
Yeah, I think that's true. And the other thing I would say is that I feel like there's some progress being made in these films, because the one problem I've had is like that they started out being pretty homogenous in terms of like racial diversity and in terms of LGBTQ representation. And there's actually some new leadership at Hallmark. And so if you are watching more carefully this year, you might see that that there's more diverse storylines. And then you can also turn to other services. Like I watched this awesome Netflix film. What was it called? Single All the Way, I think, this weekend. And it was great. LGBTQ Christmas romance. So there's other places that are playing with the genre and keeping those elements, but also giving the representation that some of us want.
This is awesome. Thank you so much, Jessica, for being here today. I feel like we need to talk about this further in a future episode. So I hope someday you'll come back so we can talk more about not just this, but also we've talked about romance fiction before too. All that stuff feels like things we should talk about on the episode. So please check those, check out all the things that Jessica's doing, the stuff she's written for CAHSS and Effect. Kelsey will share that information here. Also check out her TEDx talk, which is fabulous. Yeah, and enjoy the holiday season. We have an episode dropping in a week where we talk about holiday movies. It's gonna be great. So take care, everybody.